straight Killerville, dog.
The way you reach for me in the heart of the night, the things I feel for you, I can't say just right. If it's all I'll ever do, I live my love for you.
What's good? We are back. Another live for Fayettenam Friday. I'm the one and only Paul Masson, joined by Mr. J.
It's good. It's good.
Trillanoyx Trax will not be joining us tonight. I think he is doing a delivery to Mississippi. Should be on his way back. We should have Mickey Factz coming in here soon. We're gonna jump into a topic later as well. We're gonna talk about what Chuck D had to say and who knows what else. How you doing tonight, Mr. J?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Just keeping everything moving. Been a
Well,
long
there
week.
goes our special guest right now. Um, he worked with the 2008 Drake, Travis McCoy, Yellow Wolf, Kid Cudi, Knot, Styles P, Asher Roth, and many more. He was part of the freshman class of '09 on the Double XL magazine. Let's bring him in, the one and only Mickey Factz. Mickey, how you doing?
It's Mickey. What up? What up? What up?
Put you on the big screen. Appreciate you joining the show, man.
Thank you for having me here. The honor is literally all mine.
We're gonna let Mr. J start out with the question and whatnot. I know he got a bunch of questions for you.
Yeah,
For sure.
just kind of lay a baseline, man. Give people a background on who you are, how you started. You know what I'm saying? We'll start out with that.
Mickey Factz, Grammy Award winning songwriter, founder and CEO of Pendulum Inc., internet trailblazer, innovator. You know, it's me, man. You should know who I am if you don't. And if you don't know, you're going to learn today, man. I'm from the Bronx, New York, so I keep it hip hop all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And as far as what you had going on, um, how do you see the scene changing, and how do you see it? How do you see the scene has grown since you've started?
There's
Things
a
have changed.
there's a lot more people involved in hip hop now. Studios are now available to a myriad of people, so you know more people are able to create content. You know what I mean? Distribution labels are now in abundance, so people can upload music and have it out in a week. I think these times and these days, you have to figure out and find out what you like and zero in on that and try to, you know, appreciate that side of hip hop as much as you can. For me, as somebody who runs a school for lyricism and hip hop, I had to let go a lot of the biases that I potentially may have had towards other artists doing content that may have not aligned with my ideals as a hip hop purist. And being able to infiltrate and learn their styles is what got me and kept me where I am still today. So, shout out to everybody that's creating, hip hop music and attempting to push the culture forward in any way that they can. You know what I mean?
And as far as you said something interesting, um, kind of trying to expand your mind as I guess as a hip hop purist. I consider myself a little bit of a purist. So how do you feel? You know that does or that jives with what you were thinking. You know what I mean? As far as lyricism and what kind of importance do you put on that? Now it's expanded a little bit, or do you just kind of see things a little bit different, not necessarily as seeing certain artists as bad or taking away from the game, or something of that nature.
I'm still one of those people that I don't feel like anybody's taking anything away from the game. I think artists that create art are adding to it. I think that the powers that be are destroying the game. That's what the issue is. The issue is not with the artists. It's with the powers that be. There is no balance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So if I think the number one playlist on Spotify or Apple Music, one of them is like all they play is trap. It's the most streamed playlist, hip hop playlists that's out there, right? And all they do is play trap. You can't infiltrate that, right? Or the radio, all they play is a specific sound. You can't infiltrate that. The difference between the 90s and now, at least in the 90s, you could have gotten Wu-Tang with Tribe Called Quest, with Public Enemy, with Biggie, with Snoop, and if you were lucky, depending on what region you're in, you could have gotten some Outkast, right? Yeah. So there was a myriad of sound that you heard, and everything sounded different, right? Like you got RZA sampling, you know, you got Q-Tip doing jazz, you got Snoop and Dre and them doing funk, you got Biggie and Puff sampling pop records and rapping over it, and then you got soul from Outkast, right? Mm-hmm. So you're getting all of these different sounds hip-hop wise on the radio. Now it's two sounds, trap or pop R&B. That's it. There is no boom bap. There is no funk. I mean, now we have funk with Not Like Us, but that's because Kendrick dissed Drake. Mm-hmm. Before that, there was no hip-hop funk on the radio, right? It's just strictly drill. Well, New Yorkers drill, but it's trap and pop R&B in terms of urban radio. That's it. There's nothing else can infiltrate that. And that's the issue. It's really not the artist. It's what's being put forward. I said that there was 6 different sounds in 90s hip hop radio, right? Or even early 2000s. This is 2 sounds. That's it. And I'm well traveled. When I go to different cities, the artists are doing trap. I'm going to Denver next month. I would bet any amount of money that the Denver artists that are going to perform is going to sound like trap. And they're from Denver. Exactly. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the issue. The issue is really not the artists. It's the powers that be that are controlling what people are listening to.
That's crazy. Double XL magazine, like what was some of the things you were doing to get your name out there to where you got Double XL magazine freshman class?
Well, back then, everybody was, putting mixtapes out and going to the mixtape DJs. And I was smart enough, my team and we were smart enough to go to the internet. And we realized that the world was bigger than the Bronx, Harlem, Brooklyn, and Queens. And we started seeing we have fans all over the world. So we decided, hey, man, we don't have a budget to pay a DJ. We don't have a budget for radio. We don't have a budget for big videos. Let's just shoot this stuff on our own. Let's service these fans by giving it to them for free and build the fan base. At that time, that was unheard of. Giving people free music, that didn't exist until, I came around. Because Crooked Eye, shout out to Crooked Eye, he was giving away free freestyles. He was just doing freestyles once a week. But then I came along and was giving free songs. Like that completely changed everything, the trajectory of music. And and I was putting it out once a week, which again was unheard of. So I was like if I wasn't the number 1, I was the number 2 most Googleable new artists in hip hop at that time. There was no way that Double XL could not put me on the cover.
That's crazy. And then you had early 2008 Drake on one of those mixtapes.
Yeah, so I worked with Drake real early on. We did a song in 2008 called Overdose on Life. And that was set up by my guy Omen. He produced the record. He knew Drake and from being in Toronto a lot. So he put Drake on the record and Drake did the chorus. And I wound up putting the third verse on it. It was really the second verse. And Omen reached out to me asking me about Travis McCoy from the Gym Class Heroes. And I had a very great relationship with Trav. I called Trav, was like, yo, I got this record. You know, my boy Omen produced it. Some new kid named Drake. You gotta remember, Drake wasn't known at the time. Like Travis, he was super big at the time,
Yeah.
right?
Right,
So
Zero was big.
on that record, Travis, on that record that when it came out, Drake had the least highest.
Yeah.
Travis had the biggest name, and then my name was like, I was bubbling, so my name was like right underneath Travis, and nobody knew Drake. Nobody knew him. And I mean, if you watch Degrassi, yeah, you knew him. But aside from that, like me putting Drake on that, me putting Travis on the record took the record to another level, along with my buzz. We wasn't piggybacking off of Drake's buzz at the time. Drake was piggybacking off of us at that time.
And that's crazy because when I was listening to it earlier, you could tell that was super early Drake. He wasn't even where he was at. How much backlash did you get with the Royce the 5'9" record?
The diss?
Yeah.
I didn't get any backlash from it.
Okay.
Maybe if it was a scale 1 to 100, maybe like 1%, maybe 2%. It's been 98% positive.
And was most of that just basically because he got on Instagram and did what he did and didn't get on the record and say what he had to say?
No, it had nothing to do with that. It was
Oh.
more about, there was just disrespect on an Instagram live between him and I. And normally I would let something like that slide. But there was 2,000 people in the room, and then Joe Budden joined the room, and it turned to 10,000 people. So they just both was basically disrespecting me in front of 10,000 people. So I just kind of had to take matters into my own hands,
Yeah. And I'll be watching your Instagrams. You decipher a lot of artists' rhymes. Have you
Yes.
deciphered Trex's rhymes yet?
No, we have not gotten to Trex yet. It's tough, mainly because there's so many artists. There's so many artists, so many incredible artists, past, present, and future. And I'm doing my very best to get to everyone. You know what I'm saying? I just got to Coogee Rap 2-3 days ago. And, today I did Pharrell, you know what I'm saying? So like, just imagine how many more artists I haven't gotten to. Rakim, I haven't gotten to like Beanie Siegel. I haven't gotten to Jadakiss. There's so many artists. So I'm working towards that. I want to give everybody their flowers with these breakdowns. I think it's important for people to know what these artists are doing, and for people who want to sign up to my school to actually learn these things as well.
And that's part of your class, right? Is to decipher the rhymes and stuff.
Yeah, so you learn how to decipher rhymes, and you learn how to write rhymes better, and you learn how to flow on a beat. We have mental health. We teach you the business. We teach you how to create content, and you get a chance to meet legendary MCs as well via Zoom. You know what I mean?
And are you like the pioneer of this, or is somebody else doing this too as well that you know of?
So people have done master classes before, which is normal, especially post pandemic. The difference between what those people were doing and what I'm doing, I didn't do this to sustain a living because the world shut down. We had a former co-owner who left us, so he has his own online school as well. But aside from him, it's really just kind of Pendulum Inc. And shout out to that particular online school. I'm sure there are people that are excelling over there. But Pendulum Inc., just by the sheer numbers and the cosigns that we have and the opportunities that we're presenting with art, it's no comparison. And that's no shade, you know what I'm saying? It's just levels, you know what I mean?
Jay, you have some more questions?
Yeah, just to just to piggyback on what he's saying, that engagement seems crazy with the classes and the things you have going on. That's definitely dope that you got that going on over there. You had songs like Union Square, Overdose, which you mentioned, Apex, South Park, Wraith. Of course, full disclosure, we did do a joint some years ago, maybe like a couple years ago, called Truth. You know what I mean?
What did I say on the record? How did my verse start?
Oh man, you want to put me on the spot about the I'd actually have to play it back for you real quick.
Yeah. I just need to hit the first line, and I could probably finish the rest of the song. Yeah, this is like a super chip in my brain. I got a computer in my brain. You know what I mean?
You got a crazy catalog, man. I was listening all day today. A- is like really my favorite.
Oh man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a really deep record. I mean, you gotta really pay attention and listen to what you're saying on there. A lot of messages on there, and that with that A and the representation of it and stuff like that. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I remember this.
Swicky. Keeping the foundation pure. I live by my style, stay secure. Believing in God, He's who my salvation's for. Left my spot on the floor like a Dalmatian's paw. Being real to my son is the new truth. Truth, me and his mother still connecting quicker than Bluetooth. School youth teach him the tools, even when screws loose. Show him chess, use the bishop to get cues. Juice, couscous. Help me to find peace. Never listen to a coach that tell me to fly cheap. First class, wear a mask is healthy to hide tea from the culture. No, you can't sell me a lie cheap. Forever alive, see me wherever you grind leaf. I don't smoke, but aroma be getting me high deep. Giving back to the people. Need it, been the mantra. Live by the code like Contra. Rap spots.
Giving up fans to MC, short but seat room. Y'all remedial like goof troop. Gotta cut clowns loose to give this game a boost. Swag so weak, they need an IV. Truth is, I do this for the fan, not to prove that I'm the man. The music speaks volumes by itself to show who really needs help. No cosigns to rely on, just to show that I'm on. Sister class to leave when I'm gone. Some sell weight, some sell schemes. Some try to snitch you straight out of your dreams. Put these traitors to rest. The creator ordained my success. Keeping the laser like focus so I don't feel pressed. Let the word on the street sip into your mental. It can cause cardiac arrest. I'm alright, so they could get left. I'm alright, so they could get left.
Well, with that being said,
Fire.
What's
Did you shoot a video for that?
Yeah. There's videos up on YouTube.
Yeah. Listen, I got a good memory, man. So like, as soon as I heard the beat, I already knew what it was. Keeping the foundation pure. I already knew it.
So what is your process, and what do you think is one of your favorite joints that you've done and created?
Man,
I know it's kind of like asking, what's your favorite child?
it's tough, man. I think, as artists, we go through moods, you know what I'm saying? And depending on the mood, that's what hits. I mean, obviously, I think Mickey Mouse is probably the one that everybody loves the most. Currently, right now, I'm working on some other music that I got on the way. And, right now, some of that stuff is some of the best stuff that I've created in terms of creativity and even my skill set and lyricism, trying to push boundaries a little bit. Mouse 2 obviously is on the way. It's about 20 songs. So I want to make sure that when it comes out, people are like, yes, probably got Mouse 2, so I'm doing, the pressure's on for me to put that out because I know a lot of people passed away during the pandemic and they probably will never get a chance to hear that. So like the pressure's on for me to kind of deliver, and I think I'm going to,
Is there anybody you haven't worked with yet that you want to work with?
Yeah, it's about 5 people right now. I would say Common, Black Thought,
Good one.
Big Sean, Rick Ross,
Okay.
Dope.
and 2 Chainz. Those are the 5 people that I want to work with before it's all said and done. Black Thought was supposed to be on A-. We just couldn't make it work.
Oh man, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, we couldn't make it work in time. I feel like Black Thought and Common are probably going to be the ones that make happen before it's all said and done. 2 Chainz is something that could potentially happen. I think Sean is he's too far gone for me to make something happen. I could if I pushed hard enough, but I don't know if that can happen. And then, Rick Ross, he's attainable. All these artists are attainable. I just have to go hard enough to make it happen,
Any producers, bucket list producers?
Pete Rock, that is at the top of my list. DJ Premier, top of the list. Alchemist, and then that's really about it. I mean, I like working with newer producers, so I'm okay on the production side.
Any producers you think we should be on the lookout for as far as newer producers that
Yeah.
at your ear?
Yeah, I got a project with this new producer coming out his name is Tobes. And we have a project called Symphony of Dreams, dropping July 12th. We're supposed to announce today, but Common and Pete Rock announced today, so we don't want to get out. We're probably gonna announce tomorrow or something like that. But Symphony of Dreams, first time anybody even knows about it, so I'm letting it be known here on this particular podcast. That's coming out July 12th. So look out for Tobes. Awesome J, who did the record dissing Royce. He produced Wraith. Me and him have a 10-song project coming out later this year. My boy Dallas Rose, we have an Atlanta bass and Jersey club album coming out very soon, so he's pretty dope. Crisis, me and him have a project that's done. So like I'm outside, I'm working.
It's got to keep the wheels moving, right?
Yes, sir.
Didn't you do something in the battle scene for a while too?
Yeah. I'm actually glad that y'all brought it up, towards the end of the interview, or in this time frame of the interview. But yes, I have stepped into the battle world. I have about 4 or 5 battles, if I'm not mistaken. I think Danger Zone, DNA, Daylight, Averb, and somebody else, Cash Bills. So 5 battles. I think 5 is good. It's a good, clean number, and then I'm out. I don't have 20, 30, 40, 50 like some of these other guys. Just 5, and I'm good to go.
How do you feel that scene works for you? How do you feel that? What do you think it plays to?
I think it's good money. Good money, good community. They have massive followings, so it's always great for the reach. But it's not for me. I think there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, a lot of mental toll that falls upon you when you have to do stuff like that. So it's not for me, but salute to those guys that do it. I can do it, I just choose not to do it consistently.
Now, as far as battling somebody like on a song, getting in the studio, recording it, you pretty much think you can hang with the best, right?
I would prefer to not battle on a song. I prefer to just keep things copacetic and friendly.
Okay.
But I think I've proven myself with Rafe, so I think people to just leave Mickey alone. You know what I'm saying? He's not bothering me. He's not bothering anybody. Just leave him alone, and I'll leave you.
All about love and collaboration, right?
There you go. That's the type of time I'm on. I'm not here to, cook anybody anymore.
Is that the only record where you actually, because you did RJ Payne's, I think, style, and didn't you do Ransom style in there too as well?
Yes.
Was that the only record that you've actually done somebody else's style?
From what I recall, blatantly, yes.
And you could pretty much probably do almost any style the way you decipher rhymes, right?
Yes, I can do every style.
Yeah, because I've heard you on a record where you kind of rap a lot faster as well. And I think when I hear rappers doing that, I think that's when I know you pretty much got everything in the bag. Like you can pull out all the tools and pretty much do everything you want to do.
Yeah. I could do trap. I can do auto tune. I could do super speed. I could sing. I could do storytelling. I could mimic people's voices. I could do high tier lyricism, storytelling. I can do super simple stuff, mumble rap. Yeah, I pretty much can do it all.
That's what's up.
How do you feel
Jay,
about
you
the
had
mumble rap?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So how you feel about the mumble rap?
Mumble rap is incredible. Mumble
Yeah,
rap is
cats
incredible.
cats seem to down the mumble rap. A lot of the dudes from the 90s I deal with, they definitely talk down on the mumble rap.
I mean, I can understand why, but we had mumble rappers in the 90s. We had Bone Thugs. Like, how can you hate mumble rap?
You couldn't understand everything they were saying.
You couldn't understand Bone Thugs. You could understand Twista, but you couldn't understand Bone Thugs. So, like, I don't understand how, that's why I say it's incredible. And it's difficult to do. It's not easy at all to do mumble rap. It's actually more difficult to do mumble rap than it is to be a high level lyricist. That shit is no joke. Take it from me. I'm telling you, it's no joke. It's very tough to do.
So you decipher the mumble rappers too, like on videos as well?
I did one. I only did Offset.
Offset.
And I don't even consider him a mumble rapper, right?
Okay.
But I'm going to start, I think Kodak is dope. I think Uzi is dope. I think 21 is dope. All of these guys, if you listen, some of them are like stacking and syllable rhyming, like they going crazy. Like Offset be rhyming the entire line. This difficult. Now the content might not be at the level of people want to hear, but in terms of technique, Offset rhymes he can rhyme an entire line and on that cadence. So he could see something like founder and CEO of Pendulum Inc. Like he can say founder CEO of Pendulum Inc. And then he'll be like rhyming in the dough, attending the thing, commenting the toe, attending the thing. I'm an in the knowing. Like he can do that.
You think it's more so?
That's just not
more so the accent that maybe people that kind of throwing people off.
It's the accent. It's how they saying it. Sometimes these guys be drunk or high, so they're saying it a little lazy. Yeah. And if you're not on that frequency, you're not going to be able to follow. But like, founder, CEO, that's 5 of Pendulum, that's a 10-syllable multi-count. They can do that on the floor. LL just dropped the record with Ross and Fat Joe. These are 90s guys. Yeah, LL is 80s. They not doing 10-syllable multis. They doing like two.
Yeah, LL is always say he's like a 2-syllable guy.
Yeah, sometimes LL is 1. Sometimes he's 1, but that's G. But like again, technique-wise, these mumble rappers are highly skilled. It's the content that's throwing people off because they talking about lean, they talking about drugs, they talking about fucking women all day, spending money, like that stuff. It's vain. So like, the content will always not reign over, speaking to something of value.
What'd you think about what Chuck D said about 40-year-old rappers?
What did he say about 40-year-old rappers?
Like rapping like evil content and stuff like that. Said they shouldn't be doing it. They should basically I guess they should have grown up by now.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta mature. Like if you're not maturing, it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, you gotta grow up at some point, at least for me. Like, so I understand where you're coming from, but then at the same time, some people are in their second childhood, like what Nas said. So they still in that space. And you gotta meet them there sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, before we let you go, any shout outs you want to do?
Yeah, man. Shout out to all my students at Pendulum Inc. Shout out to my team at Pendulum Inc. Shout out to my boy Tobes. We got this project dropping. Symphony of Dreams, July 12th. Make sure you guys go get that. Shout out to Soul Spasm. Shout out to Paul Masson and Mr. J, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys.
And definitely we do the live music reviews. I don't know if you're interested in ever sending a track for those.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love
definitely.
to.
And
But
once we get off here,
y'all want one now? Y'all want to do one now? First single?
If you got one we ain't heard, man, we definitely when we get off here, make sure we send over all our contact info. Keep in touch with you.
Yeah, we can do it now. Y'all want to do one now? Like this it'll be a world premiere. Nobody's ever heard this. You know, you
talking about on the show right now?
I'm talking about on the show right now. It's up to you.
Oh, we usually do it on Saturdays.
Oh, on Saturdays, okay.
Yeah.
I'll think about it then. I thought y'all was
okay.
I thought y'all was trying to be jiggy right now.
I mean, if you want to send MP3, we could do it right now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
livefromfayettenam@gmail.com.
There we see that. There you go. See, now that's what I was waiting to hear. I was waiting to hear if he was gonna break the rules because he was like, oh, we only do it on Saturday. So what's the email?
livefromfayettenam@gmail.com. It's FAYETTENAM. Live from Fayettenam.
LIVEFROM.
Yeah, FAYETTENAM.
At Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
Live from Fayettenam. Listen, I'm gonna send this record right now. I want to hear what you guys got to say. Like that's what we're here for. You guys are about to break a record. When's the last time y'all broke a record? And I'm gonna send the MP3. We're gonna get you guys the MP3. It's on its way right now. It's on its way. It's loading up. The song is called Fearless. It's featuring my homegirl C Red. She was a student at Pendulum Inc. And she's also a doctor. She's a urologist. She's a urologist.
What's up?
Do you got it? What's up, John Jones?
Not yet.
It's sent. On my end, it said it's sent.
All right. Waiting on it to hit here.
It said live from Fayettenam. You
Let
got it?
Let me download it real quick. Get up. Load it. Few seconds.
See, there we go. While y'all doing that, let me get my earphone charger. We about to listen to some new music.
Shouts out to Mr. Jones for tuning in. We about to get a
exclusive world premiere.
Here we go.
Yo.
All right, let's get into it. Come on,
Let's
load
do
up
it.
for me. Load up for me. Load up for me. Here we go.
We've been through the valley, now it's Napa, homie. Past the groanies, ain't no in between. Either facts or phony.
Blog era champ, y'all in a trance. Frauds had a chance, the dog in advance. The passport in my pants, soaring out to France. The ball's getting stamped, your bro took a chance. That's a new monopoly. I got a short line by how water works properly. Did it on the property. Nigga, I'm fast go. 200 on the dash show. Don't think she cheated, my guy? Yes, she has, bro. Tabasco, hot sauce, that flow, don't act broke. Should've wrote this in a lab coat. My last dose, past dope. Look at the cash flow. It's Castro. We stuck the tuck in like Namco. You lactose.
Yeah.
Intolerant, hollering what you trying to get. Keep it bottled in like a pirate ship when you model it. Yeah. This pure dominance and I'm prominent. You know common sense ain't common like the Chicagoan.
Back and loaded, I'm in traffic, yoking. Witnessing the goat, the way the stats are loaded. We've been through the valley, now it's Napa, homie. Past the groanies, ain't no in between. Either facts or phony. Back and loaded, I'm in traffic, yoking. Witnessing the goat, the way the stats are loaded. We've been through the valley, now it's Napa, homie. Past the groanies, ain't no in between. Either facts or phony. Yeah.
Film festival down in Tribeca. I'm still incredible, peep the trifecta. Getting revenue, I'm counting wild cheddar.
Yeah.
Kick it better to you than you shorty trimester, I'm stellar. When life get tough, apply pressure. Can't die a beggar, remember to try better, fly fella. Who riding the Tesla with fine heifers. So high with the rhymes, my vibes inside Denver. Nikolai Jokic,
Yeah.
MVP, see me on ceiling high posters. Epitomize dopeness. I'm from the Bronx where they gentrify cultures. To keep a mindset where we villainize vultures. I'm focused. You put drugs and money on the scale. I'm thinking 10x with a company to scale. I live comfortably as well. If a nigga wanna judge me, go to hell, for real.
Back and loaded, I'm in traffic, yo. Witnessing the goat, the way the stats are loaded. We've been through the valley, now it's napping, homie. Past the bronies, ain't no in between, either facts or phony. Back and loaded, I'm in traffic, yo. Witnessing the goat, the way the stats are loaded. We've been through the valley, now it's napping, homie. Past the bronies, ain't no in between, either facts or phony.
I'm giving that a yay. I'm giving that a yay, man. That is dope.
Yay.
Production is dope. The
Yay.
flow is dope. The hook is dope.
Yeah.
That is dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There we
Yo,
go.
Nick,
There we go.
You got a really good catalog, man. You're as dope as any rapper I've ever heard in my entire life, man. I'm not even gonna lie, dude.
I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
You really are, man. Dang. I've been sleeping on Mickey Factz, man. I'm not gonna lie, I've been sleeping on you, man. And no longer, man.
It happens.
But wait.
Yeah, wake up, bro. It's cool, man.
I'm wide awake now.
Yeah. I mean, we could do that all day. Like, I wrote this project that's coming out. I wrote it in 2 days. So like this, I can do this all day long. It's easy. This is like going to the gym and lifting 10 pounds. That's it. It's exercise to me, So I'm glad that you guys appreciate it and like it. I'm glad I was able to premiere with you guys. I'm sorry for probably making my guy, Jones, panic. He was calling me like, yo, man, yeah. I'm like, yo, I'm going to be there. If I said I'm pulling up, baby. We don't play. We show love, you heard? Smicky. Long live lyricism. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I'm out of here.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
All right,
peace.
Wow. You heard it first, live from Fayettenam. New Schmicky Factz. That was dope record, man. You know what I realized? A lot of these cats from our era, they're not getting that kind of production like that, man. Like he reminds me of a lot of rec stuff, man, with the production and what's going on over there, man. Really putting out a lot of good quality music. Everything I listened to from Mickey today was really, really amazing. I ain't heard no song that I had to skip or anything of that nature. They were just all dope records.
That last record, the record he world premiere here, definitely sounded like a world premiere, like a little brother record, almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was dope.
I didn't know he was gonna get put on the spot with the music review, but as soon as I heard it, I was like, that's a yay. Make sure y'all go follow Mickey Factz on Instagram at Mickey.Factz. That's Mickey.Factz on Instagram. We're gonna get into a quick commercial break, and we're gonna be right back.
Dizzle ain't no joke, got me addicted, ain't no coke. Let's just have a toast. Anybody want some smoke? Cause it's up, I be dizzled up. Catch me sipping with my double cup. Can't just have one, you gotta double up. You pour it, gotta watch it bubble up. I ain't gon' lie, I cannot get enough. With Callie said I need another one. Gon' have you coming back for more, but go get it while it's hot. Before it be sold out in your store. That Dizzle.
Yeah, that's right. I really mean it. You could Dizzle too. Dizzle is a premium luxury liqueur mixed with agave tequila, cognac, and orange liquor mango mix. Throw your Dizzle on ice, and it's nice. You want to order your very own bottle or bottles, go to dizzlebrand.com. I got some cans on the way. Emilio said my order has just shipped today, and Georgia just picked up Dizzle. Dizzle should be launching in Georgia any day now. So check us out. We're also in Arkansas, California, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Shouts out to Trillanoyx Trax. He should be back hopefully next week. He had to do a delivery in Mississippi. Tomorrow we got Illa G. As soon as I get off here, I gotta chop up some Mickey Factz clips and get him out there. Really, really amazing with this school, right? That he's got.
Yeah, it's definitely dope. Um, I don't know exactly who was talking about with the other school, but just the fact that you have somebody who's breaking down lyrics, deciphering lyrics, teaching people how to be better MCs. I mean, that's always needed. You know, what I mean, as an artist, you always need to sharpen your skills. You always need to make sure you continually learn about the history of this craft and of this culture. Um, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times I have said it. You just got to be a consummate student. Um, I consider myself a consummate student. I'm always trying to learn something. Always trying to figure out what I don't know, especially as an artist and as a writer. I'm always trying to push the envelope and figure out what I don't know and how I can try different things.
Shouts out to my man Phoenix Sun for tuning in. Mickey Factz make you feel any different about mumble rappers after what he said?
It maybe had a different perspective. I don't know if I'm sold on particular different artists. It's really a song to song thing for me.
What
And I
about
think
what he
what he
said
says,
about the labels, like the powers that be? Like are we putting too much onus and blame on the artist and not the powers that be?
I always thought it was when we talk about once again, we've kind of been over this several different iterations and different times about the commercial level versus the artist level or the independent level. It's always that battle. It's always been that way. Um, so yeah, the onus is a little bit more on the labels, but we know the labels are strictly here for cash money, with however they can get it, however they see, business going for them, even if the reality is different.
All right, Chuck D said, what was the exact quote? If you're over 40 and spitting meaningless dark energy, I said evil, dark and evil. I guess you could say the same thing. You have to really think about what matters in hip hop foundation that birth your chance at it is steamed MC wrote. So I'm guessing you agree with him 100% on this.
Um, Honestly, I'm kind of two minds on this thing.
I do too. Go ahead.
Uh, as far as artistry, there's certain artists I want to hear. You're not going to hear high-minded stuff from a Pusha T. You know what I mean? You gonna get coke rap, and he's so good at it and so good lyrically that what I mean. I don't mind hearing that from him. But it's kind of like Mickey's Fact said. There needs some balance. Needs to be some balance, and I think that's the biggest issue. We don't have a lot of balance. So when you hear that, you need to be able to juxtapose it against something else. There are certain artists who go in that lane that don't belong in that lane. They talk about things that didn't live. They talk about stuff that's unconvincing. You know what I mean? Um, it's like when Drake talks real tough guy stuff. I mean, we can't really buy that from you. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to accept that. Um, but we definitely need more conscious rappers. We definitely need artists who do have that dark side to be able to show they have another side. I mean, you even had an artist like Project Pat do a song called like "Beautiful Day" or "Beautiful Life" or something like that. You know what I mean? So to show there's other sides than just one a dark side, or just other sides to the hood than just people dying in the street.
Yeah, and then I also look at certain artists built a fan base, like the gangster rappers. Like they built a fan base off of being gangster rappers. And yeah, you got to grow up sometimes and stop being a gangster. But at the same time, is your fan base going to grow up with you? That's the tricky part I have with some of these things. Is your fan base going to grow up with you if you just decide, hey, I'm not a gangster rapper no more? Because even like MC8, I mean, he's probably still rapping some gangster shit, but he had Premier do a lot of tracks and stuff like that. So I guess it gives you that balance that you're looking for. Because think about the early MCA. I mean, that straight up menace sound, that was a straight up gangster sound, man. Like, you know, and yeah, some of his fan base grew up with him, but man, everybody don't grow up, man, with the artists. That's one
And
thing.
and even with somebody like that, you know what I mean, or somebody in that lane, they weren't just telling you, stories that didn't have, consequences to it. Like even Ice-T, what I'm saying, when he did certain songs, like You Played Yourself or Hustler, what I'm saying, if there was consequences. The person or the protagonist in the song, didn't make it out. You know what I'm saying? They shows you there were consequences to moving in the streets. The biggest issue, I'm saying, with certain people being gangsters, they're not showing you there's consequences. They're just saying, you can live this life, live lavish, have all these women, have all these cars, but there's no other side to it. Like, yeah, you might be able to have that, but you may not have that forever because the feds is getting ready to come knocking at your door. You know what I'm saying? So
You know what also I hate about these kind of quotes? They probably usually always get taken out of context. I wish I knew exactly what dark energy he was referring to, and I wish I knew like some of the artists he was referring to. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, because that's the thing. Like you said, everybody can't be conscious rappers or positive rappers. That even then, there still has to be a balance, something to balance that out. We know there always has to, good and evil, light and dark. There always has to be a balance. I always agree with a balance in life of everything. There has to be that opposites that attract to create that balance. And yes, we need more conscious rappers. I don't know how many, if we're gonna get any more in the mainstream at all. Like once Cole and Kendrick kind of fizzle out, it looks like that could be the end of conscious rappers in the mainstream,
yeah,
or
it's a
close to
possibility.
conscious rappers in the mainstream.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I do see some artists trying to take a more positive stance on different things, but I don't think it's going to sound like Kendrick or Cole. It'll be whatever it needs to be for that next generation coming up. Um, and then, of course, like you said, it'll probably be underground rappers, independent rappers who have more of a different kind of fan base that sound more like Kendrick or Cole, or more like early '90s rappers uh, that kind of take up that mantle. But they on the mainstream, it'll be hard pressed to have people come through unless they are doing collaboration with whoever's the new hot person on that level.
I don't know if you saw. I ain't seen this over a topic, but I saw something. You see what Eminem did recently with his
Mm,
pre-orders.
no, I didn't catch that.
So Eminem is. I saw this on Curtis King. Shouts out to Curtis King. I love his content. Man, I'm gonna have to reach out to Curtis King. We need to try to get him on the show. But Eminem got the pre-order where you can pre-order the album for like $12.99 with 2 bonus tracks, which is straight to consumer. So that's the thing. We need cats like the Eminems. You got Kanye did it, Pharrell did it, and a couple other artists that he named it did it. And there was another artist that did it, like was telling him to put his, like when Curtis King took his stuff off the streaming platforms, he told him to put it back on. But the whole thing is like we really got to get back to like at least the guys who have the power in the industry, they got to go direct to consumer so everybody else can kind of follow behind, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they have to know. They have to test out what kind of function works. You know what I mean? They have to have a plan laid out to see how that works.
Well,
I'm
Eminem's doing a
also of the
digital
mind.
download. Eminem's doing a digital download. And that's something easy you could do on any website. You got to go to this
Yeah,
website, digital download, $12.99 pre-order. And then once it comes out, you get the digital download, you know what I'm saying, with the 2 bonus tracks. and whatnot, which won't be on the Spotify. So I mean, even if he sells, say, 500,000 copies of those, I mean, it has set a new precedent. It has set a new precedent, and that's the thing. We need people to set new precedents. Like, they've let streaming go on a little too long. Even when I put out the thing, Spotify is dead. I've literally took Spotify off of my website. You can't even really buy Spotify promotions on my website because you got the AI out there now that's removing the music, and I know for a fact that AI is even removing music that's only advertised with Spotify. So how does that work? Like, if you're only advertising with Spotify and they remove the music, well, damn, like, and then they saying, hey, you got to get 1,000 plays or you'll be demonetized. Oh, but by the way, Mr. J, you can't pay a third party to promote your Spotify at all.
Yeah, that's insane. And one place shouldn't have that much power. I mean, there are 100 different streaming services, literally. And
but the only problem
Spotify,
is their playlist.
Spotify should be at the top of the list. And the thing is, every artist needs a toolkit, and that toolkit should be everything under the sun, physical copies as well as digital, because you can't leave any individual out.
And did you see what Daniel X said for Spotify about what did he say? He said it costs almost $0 to make content nowadays. And people were scratching their heads like, what content is he talking about? Like, because if you talk about music, well, people that are going to, like, the studios to record, like, $85 an hour kind of rates. I mean, that's not free. Even if you're doing an in-house home studio, that's not free. If you got to do a music video, that's not free. I mean, everything's gonna cost. Even if you're doing it yourself, you got to get it costs to get the camera, it costs to get all the equipment to do it. It's like, what is he talking about? I think he's talking about AI content.
I think he's definitely, and I think he's discounting the fact that people have to get the materials, saying to start up. You know what I'm saying? There's always a startup cost. You got to get the camera, you got to get the director, you got to go to the studio or get the recording program if you don't already have it. Then maybe after that, it's a reduced cost because you're doing everything in house. But still, lights cost, electricity costs, your time and energy costs. So yeah, I don't know anything about zero cost. Even if you're doing AI, you're still using electricity, so there's no zero cost there.
Yeah, the internet connection, the electricity connection. You got to pay rent at the spot that you got electricity at. All this stuff. It's like when I hear that, I think he's definitely talking about AI content, and I'm almost scared that we're gonna see a world that record labels are really fine with just producing AI recorded music and put it on the streaming platforms, and they don't care if it's any touring dollars involved or not. I mean, they don't care about the music as it is. And
it's just content driven stuff. I mean, I just watched a thing not 4 days ago about somebody, I think David Guetta took somebody's little TikTok thing that went viral, her little saying or whatever, and made it into a song. And basically, I guess, signed her to a little contract so he could use her vocals and just clip it up and turn it into some kind of dance song. I mean,
that's the thing.
That's not music. That's just, that's just a clip.
They could pay anybody a one-time fee to use their voice. Like, here, I'm gonna pay you this one-time fee. We're gonna use your voice for the AI. They could do an average Joe for that, and they'll be happy as hell that their voice is being used. And this is the problem I have with if labels start pumping out this AI music, man. They're already like like Mickey was saying, how do you infiltrate radio? How do you infiltrate Spotify playlists? And I think he was talking about probably like Rap Caviar is mainly like just trap and drill and whatnot. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's Apple's top hip hop playlist too. But the fans, man, if you pump it to them, man, they're gonna take what you give them.
Yeah, it's like the scene in Malcolm X. You know what I mean? You either get the clean water or the dirty water. You know what I'm saying? So if they actually see the clean water, they get it. But, you know,
if they wasn't going to just take what you give them, they wouldn't be just taking what you give them right now. They would like he was saying, you know, you as a fan got to just like what you want, like, and search that out, man. But like, it's so tough, man, when there's so many songs being dropped every day on the streaming platforms. There's got to be other ways to go about it to consume your music better.
Even on YouTube, I mean, that Saturday Night Special video just dropped today. I believe it's 215,000 views. I think last time I looked at it. But you would figure somebody like that, like a LL who has so much cash, hey, he's not, you know what I'm saying? He's not even just a regular rapper. He's somebody who's been on TV for umpteen amount of years and been in movies. That should already be maybe 1.5 million views. But
I mean, you would think, but
everything else going on.
This is the problem, though, man. Like, it's tough to get the kind of appreciation for those kind of artists nowadays, even on the YouTube. I mean, 200. And you said it dropped when?
I think it just dropped today. I think so.
Today. I mean, that's pretty. I guess that's pretty good considering the fact. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said,
I mean, so LL's going to what? Drop a whole album? He's dropping a whole album?
Yeah, September. I think he said September 9th.
What's up with all the resurgence? There's a lot of. It looked like everybody's trying to make their last run of their last albums. LL, Rakim.
Yeah, man. It's a whole slew of OGs, but they dropping good music. I mean, Dog Pound.
You got Common and Pete Rock. Common. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna see another Common album after this. I mean, we don't know.
Well, he said him and Pete Rock already got one. They're trying to work on again.
So maybe one more from Common and Pete Rock, but yeah. But then that'll probably be it.
Like I said, Rakim, Common, Pete Rock, Dog Pound, Snoop's getting ready to drop one. LL's dropping one. Spice One just dropped one. I mean, it's all kinds of OGs just coming out here, and they spanking these kids as far as, you know, content, as far as quality music. It's from East Coast to West Coast. It's all tight.
The only problem is like Mickey said, man, the only playlist, there's not no really playlist for those artists, man. They got like the 90s hip hop playlist, but they're only putting the old records on there. There's no playlist out there for the new records for these 90s hip hop artists. They're not gonna throw them on the Rap Caviars. They'll get a little bit of traction on some of the lower tier Spotify editorials, and that's it. They're not gonna play them on radio, so they got to go solely off of word of mouth, man. That's why I think.
Well, I mean, you got XL, you got satellite radio. You got satellite radio. They're getting heavy spins on satellite radio.
I think really what a lot of these cats have to really rely on more than anything is they need to be, every time anybody from the 90s drops an album, anybody from the 90s that's on Instagram needs to be sharing their shit. Long as you ain't got no major beef with them or nothing like that, you cool with them, y'all need to be sharing each other's shit.
Because they might share yours.
You're right. You're right. Even if you do, go share it, man. Go share it. And that'll probably squash the beef, and they'll probably share your shit later. But I mean, I noticed a lot of people sharing the Common and Pete Rock joint. A lot of people sharing the Common and Pete Rock joint. So yeah,
doing a lot. I just saw. That's right. You said the Common Pete Rock, but I see the Dog Pound a lot. You know what I'm saying? They probably need to see more of the Spice One and a couple others. But yeah, probably see the
I,
Rock M soon.
yeah, I ain't seen much of the Spice One at all. Like I ain't really, and we follow him on Instagram as well. But that's the thing too with social media. Once you start following so many people, only so many people gonna show up on your timeline at
Yeah,
any given point. I notice sometimes you don't be getting posted like 2 or 3 days later that we posted.
exactly. The algorithm, weeds stuff out. That's another issue. You know what I'm saying? It's the one of the things that people have to not be dependent on all the technology. You've got to step outside of some of this stuff, and you got to step outside the matrix. You know what I'm saying? You got to step outside the matrix, and you got to be able to try to move some things around.
They probably need to go back to basics because what artists never really tried to do was like ever since the Spotify thing came about, they never really tried to push their websites super heavy. Like a lot of artists strayed away from their websites. And it's easy to get traffic to a website, man. It really is. A lot of like I never known, like I've always stressed this. Artists never really dabbled into SEO too much. Dealt with thousands of artists. Never really were they trying to do SEO anytime we were offering it. No website kind of traffic to they website. They've always been about ever since the age of social media followers, buying Twitter followers and things of that nature. They've always been on this chase of trying to get a million of this, a million of that overnight, a million Spotify plays, a million Instagram followers, a million Twitter followers. They never really want to go and build and grind. Like Chuck T said, you got to build fans one by one by one by one, and that's the thing. If you win over somebody as a fanatic, that fanatic is going to tell other people about your music.
Exactly.
And then they can listen, and if they become fanatics, then they're gonna be telling somebody. That's how it was with Joyner Lucas when I first heard him. I was telling every time I tell somebody about Joyner Lucas, they be like, "Oh man, I like this dude." And the next thing you know, they're telling somebody about Joyner Lucas, and then they're telling somebody about Joyner Lucas, because word of mouth is always gonna be the number one thing in this business and any business.
Yeah,
That everybody's
more
like,
more than
"Yo,
anything else.
yeah, word of mouth," and everybody's stuck on just internet promotion only. I think COVID fucked up a lot of shit too. People like the street
Going
team
outside,
aspect.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have to bring those back. Street teams are gonna definitely have to come back.
I mean, I don't see nobody street teaming still really
I think
nowhere.
I think I think what's going to have to happen. It's just like anything. You're going to have to collab with other people. You're going to have to start really collabing with people and start creating a street team that just pushes different people's stuff. Um, just like I talked about, people having a real like artist union. That's going to have to be part of it. You're going to
Like
have this
chipping in, everybody chipping
collective.
in on the street team, or
Yeah,
chipping in on
yeah,
like the street team, and the street team's promoting everybody's shit. Yeah,
yeah,
I get what
definitely,
you're saying. Yeah. That way
definitely.
the street teamers are getting paid to get out there and street team. And
And they're going to be more motivated to do it.
yeah,
Uh,
that's the only thing, man. I mean, Fayetteville's always gonna be the toughest spot for unity. Like we interviewed Edgar Allan Flo, and he talked about just the music alone brought them together. That ain't gonna happen in the Ville. I hate to say it. The music alone ain't gonna just bring the right amount of cats together. It's always gonna be like money involved or agendas and whatnot.
I think what set me off in a different mindset for that is somebody else I networked with out of Boston, and they were talking the same type of stuff we talking as far as unity in their town, as far as hip hop artists. And I think from city to city, in certain spots, if you're not the mecca of whatever, it's going to be hard for unity, hard for different artists to come together. But
Well,
I
we're
mean,
gonna go
that
ahead and
means
wrap
you got to step
this.
outside.
We're gonna wrap this up. Any shout outs you want to do?
Yeah, shout out to live radio, Sin City Live. I was just on there last week. The interview, I guess, should be up pretty soon. They, shout out to them, Mike Spacer. Of
Jay,
course,
you stay doing interviews, man.
Man, gotta keep my name out here.
I don't like being interviewed.
interviewing
I don't like being interviewed too much. I like to do the interviewing opposed to being interviewed.
Well, like you said, word of mouth, man. I got to keep my name out here. Keep networking with how many people I can network with. I keep telling people, it's African proverb I probably butcher, but I'm saying it's better to go farther with 10 than it is with 1. So that's how you got to do it.
Well, I want to shout out Mickey Factz for coming on. I mean, amazing catalog. Make sure y'all go follow him. And shouts out to Trillanoyx. Shouts out to you, Mr. J. I know you said you won't make it tomorrow. I got Illa G on tomorrow. I'm going to have Vinny Dangerous come on tomorrow with the interviews and help me out with the interview, get some questions in. If you got a question or two, make sure you send me the questions, and I'll ask them, because the more the questions, the merrier. And I'm probably going to do the music reviews myself tomorrow. So, yeah, tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And shouts out to everybody tuning in. Travis Little, what's up, family? He said they still have street teams. I don't know, man. They need to bring them back, though. I know that much.
I may have
they
to try
need
to put
to bring
one
them
together.
back.
I may have to try to that.
I mean, COVID fucked it up, man. It fucked up the school tour for a little while. They couldn't do the school tour for a little while because of COVID. The schools was like shut down with the school tour. It took them it was like a year where schools were open up before they could even get back into the school tour thing. And now they're back in the rhythm of school tour and whatnot. And definitely go follow the school tour as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, appreciate y'all tuning in. Peace. We out.
Beats by Trill, straight Killerville, dog.